Hello. I expect you're wondering what I'm doing. Well, I'm putting some cream on my hands, some hand cream, uh, because we keep having to wash our hands so much at the moment, or put antibacterial gel on. Then sometimes the skin gets a bit rough, and perhaps we get a bit of a rash or a bit of eczema. Mine are a bit rough at the moment, and I think they needed a bit of hand cream, so I'm just putting on because that'll help them to feel better. But I want to tell you a story today about a man who he had a skin problem too, but no cream was going to make it feel better. We're going to call the man in our story Simon. And Simon was very sad because nobody was allowed to hug him. Now, you and me know what it's like at the moment, not being able to hug everybody that we would really like to. Maybe our grands and grandpas and brothers and sisters, our aunties and uncles, people who are special to us. And sometimes we just want to sit, perhaps, and have a cuddle. And other times we want to just run and greet them with a hug. And at the moment, we can't do that all the time. But can you imagine how Simon felt? Because he was never going to be able to be hugged again, because he had a very nasty skin disease, not just a bit of rough skin that you can fix with a hand cream, but his skin disease was called leprosy. And it was not just bad for him, but everybody thought that you would catch it very easily. And so nobody wanted to be near him. And he wasn't allowed to touch anybody. Nobody was allowed to touch him. In fact, he had to shout wherever he went and warn people that he was coming. And he had to shout, "Unclean, unclean." And everybody would run away and shy away from him. They didn't want anything to do with it. They didn't want to catch his leprosy. Well, for Simon, he was very sad because nobody could ever hug him. Nobody could touch him. But one day, he overheard somebody speaking. They were talking about what a man called Jesus was doing. And as he listened, they were talking about Jesus making people better. They were talking about some of the things that Jesus said. And Simon felt a real ache in his heart. And he thought, if only I could see Jesus and talk to him, maybe he could make me better. But he knew that if he was going to see Jesus, nobody else must see him. Else they'd chase him away. They'd perhaps even throw stones at him to make him go away. And so, quite secretly really, he looked for an opportunity where he could speak to Jesus. And one day, that opportunity came. Jesus came to a village where Simon was. And Simon saw Jesus coming. And instead of hiding away, he ran to him. And he fell down in front of him on his knees and he said, "Jesus, if you want to, you can make me well again. You can make me clean." And he showed him his hands that were full of leprosy and bits missing. It was a horrible disease. Do you think Jesus shied away from him? Do you think Jesus stepped back, afraid that he might catch it? No, he didn't. Jesus did what everybody else wouldn't do. He reached out his hand to Simon and he touched him. And he said, "I want to, Simon. I want to make you well again. Be well." And Simon looked at his hands, and instead of the sores and the scabs and the missing bit, they were whole again. But even more than that, though that was so wonderful, Jesus had touched him and he hadn't been touched for so long. And that touch of Jesus brought him healing and wholeness. Jesus then said to him, and this is a really hard thing, Jesus said, don't go telling everybody what I've done, but you go to the priest and show him what I've done. And then he can give you a clean bill of health. You'll be allowed to go home to your family again. Well, I don't know if you were Simon, if you could have kept quiet. I think he did go to the priest because that was important. That was like going to the doctor and having confirmed that you were healed. But he couldn't keep quiet about what Jesus had done. I'm sure that he must have said to lots of people, Jesus touched me and now I'm healed. I can go home again. I can touch my family. I can be hugged again. It's a wonderful story, isn't it? And I know for lots of us, we will be so glad when we can hug people who we're not allowed to hug at the moment, who we can't see very much at the moment. We're looking forward to that day. Can you just imagine Simon's joy when Jesus touched him and he knew that he could touch his friends and be hugged again? Jesus showed just how much he loved him and that he wasn't scared of the disease that he had.